So, important questions for exam from this poem are: you have to include these points whenever you are answering anything from this poem. And this way, Daddy becomes a strong voice against patriarchy as well. Sylvia Plath's Daddy is a powerful confessional poem in which the speaker confronts the oppressive memory of her father and by extension the larger forces of patriarchy and personal trauma. Written in an intense, emotionally charged tone, the poem expresses the speaker's journey from helplessness to liberation. Confessional poetry is a literary movement that began in America in the 1950s and 60s. It features deeply personal autobiographical writing from the poet's own perspective. That is why the name, confessional of course, and often addresses topics once considered taboo, like mental illness, abuse, addiction, divorce, and sexuality. The tone is highly subjective, unlike the normal objective tone of regular poetry. While sometimes criticized for being overly self-focused, the best confessional poets like Sylvia Plath, Anne Saxton, Robert Lowell, and John Berryman balance emotional honesty with strong attention to craft, rhythm, imagery, and lyrical control. The first stanza of this poem is very striking, isn't it? You do not do any more black shoe, in which I have lived like a foot for 30 years, poor and white, barely daring to breathe or achoo. No, not even a sneeze. Suffocating, right? Plath opens the poem by expressing that she can no longer endure the oppressive memory of her father. The black shoe metaphor suggests being trapped or confined by his legacy. She feels like a passive, silenced part of a system, like a foot trapped in a shoe, ruled by men, specifically her father, for 3 decades. The poet then claims that she had to kill her father emotionally and psychologically, but also admits that he died before she ever had the chance to do so. She presents him as a massive godlike figure, a bag full of God, and marble heavy, yet terrifying and distant, like a looming statue with a toe resembling a San Francisco seal. These surreal images mark the beginning of her emotional struggle, a hallmark of confessional poetry in modern American literature. Also, we can already see Plath's voice against patriarchy is rising high. Using surreal and disturbing metaphors, the poet then explores themes of patriarchy, trauma, and identity. Being an educator for the last 9 years and with a history of hundreds of successful students, I have curated a smart answer writing technique, and according to that, I must say that you have to mention all these points whenever you are writing any answer from Daddy by Sylvia Plath. And especially for BA and MA English students, there is another very important issue which I will discuss right now. Plath uses intense Nazi imagery comparing herself to a Jew being transported to a concentration camp. While controversial, these metaphors represent the speaker's emotional captivity and the totalitarian nature of patriarchal power. She even questions her own identity, wondering if she might be a Jew due to her Romani roots, bad luck, and tarot use, highlighting her sense of otherness and dislocation. Her father is associated with fascism, described as a swastika, a tank, and even the devil. This dehumanizing imagery intensifies the poem's emotional violence. The speaker was 10 years old when her father died. When she was 20, she tried to commit suicide so that she could finally be reunited with him. She thought even being buried with him would be enough. The suicide attempt was unsuccessful. Plath then links her father to her husband, stating that she married a man like him, a vampire who drained her life for 7 years. This parallel reveals how patriarchal control can repeat in personal relationships, especially in marriage. But the poem's final act is one of liberation. The speaker drives a metaphorical stake through her father's heart, an old metaphor of killing vampires, and declares, "Daddy, daddy, you bastard, I am through." This symbolic act marks her emotional and psychological freedom. The villagers' dance on his grave suggests that her pain is both personal and collective. This is how Plath's daddy became a striking example of confessional poetry in post-war American literature, turning personal anguish into a feminist critique of male dominance. Now, before mentioning exam important questions from this poem, I would like to tell you that you can book personalized classes with me where I take care of all the topic-based understanding, notes, and assignments for BA and MA English students for different universities. You can have them both online and offline, and in English, Bangla, and Hindi. Also, if you find this video to be helpful, please show your support in the comment section and like and subscribe to my channel for more literary videos like this. Coming back very soon with the next update. Till then, grow like a pro with Ipsita Ma'am.